It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, and Tom Griswold. And now, here's Tom.
Bob and Tom.
Hook up with comedian Mo Mandel. We'll see what's going on with Mo. Oh, is Mo there? I can see him. Can you hear us, Mo?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. That's good.
Hey, how are you, man?
Good. How you doing, man? Nice to see you.
Now, exactly where are you? It looks like, is that...
Holy hell, that's a head of hair, right, Tommy? Oh, it's a good head of hair.
That is nice,
Man, oh, man, that's something.
This is just getting, I don't know if you're talking about my eyebrows, my beard, or because it's just becoming one enormous just mess at this point in the quarantine.
That is dense.
kind of they used to call that, when I was in college, that was referred to as the Isro.
Oh, God.
The Isro?
Yes.
I'll take that.
No, I'm not. I didn't make up the term.
You mean Israel and
yes,
an afro?
it was. Yes, that was a term that was thrown around on the campus of Columbia University. I did not invent it, but it's a fact.
I think it's accurate. My fiance describes my whole face when I kiss her as like what a pan must feel like when you take like one of those iron little scrub brushes.
Oh, yeah.
To get like all that off.
All right.
That's basically what she says it's like to kiss me, which I think is a compliment, but I'll have to check with her.
So you got a fiance. That's good. Are you in the kitchen? I can see there we go. There's a stove right behind you.
Yeah, this is my studio now.
This is my favorite part of this Zooming thing is you get to see how people live.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could say this is my apartment. This is her apartment. If it was mine, I would definitely have put up like a sheet so you couldn't see anything.
I kind of like it. I don't like it when people put up the fake
Got the electric
slides
range.
behind them and
The green screen. Yeah.
Well, you guys are gonna love it because she's already up working herself, and you'll probably see her walking around on her way to go pee in a second. So,
Okay. All right. We'll look forward to that.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
So now you've got something new on the Discovery Channel, the Small Town Throwdown. Tell me what it's all about.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this show. I don't know if you've ever seen those articles that are all across the internet, like clickbait articles, like the dumbest town in America, the ugliest town, the smelliest town. It's like this new form of quote unquote journalism that is just all about ripping small American communities, right?
Sure.
So each episode of this show, we go to one of those towns and give the town a chance to fight back against the headlines and tell its own story.
Well, that's kind of
Excellent.
cool.
Yeah.
Did I see you went to Wisconsin someplace in Wisconsin about drinking?
We went to Appleton, Wisconsin,
That's what I
which
thought.
has been called the drunkest town in America.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We've been
And
there
then-
many times. Yeah.
I've been drunk in Appleton many times.
I have contributed to the legend. I want to
Well,
say.
actually, Chick, when we went there, the mayor said you're part of the reason it's on that list.
Might be right.
That not surprise me. Yeah.
They have a big picture of you in the town square. That's,
Okay. It's very
like
nice.
a memorial. So it's fun. Like drunkest town is like kind of a funny one because when we went there, half the people were offended and half the people were like, "Yeah, that's my uncle." Like, don't do anything about that. So it is. And then at the end of each episode, I'll write an article, or I have written an article in USA Today. So we kind of give them a chance to like get some good press out there. So it's kind of got like a nice little twist.
So it's a Small Town Throwdown airing tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on the Discovery Channel. What other towns have you had occasion to visit now?
So in this episode, we go to Appleton and we also go to Lubbock, Texas,
sure.
which is known as the most boring town in America.
Oh, really?
That's what they've been called.
How did they defend themselves?
They weren't thrilled about it.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I went out at one point. It was a little scary. I was at a rodeo and I had told the crowd, so they say you're the most boring town in America. And the crowd was like, boo! Get him! Yeah, I don't want to be like, no, I didn't say that. No. That's not me. Don't unleash the cows.
Wow.
But it didn't turn out to be boring at all. It was actually like this kind of, it's got this sort of Wild West sort of spirit down there. And also a lot of things that I just would have never thought. Like it's got this really big glider community because I guess they had like this glidering, like the Air Force had a glider school there during World War II. And so all these glider pilots stuck around. So they get to those crazy little And have you ever been to one of those things? It's just like the craziest feeling.
I think it's my favorite episode ever. I think of it was either Outer Limits or The Twilight Zone. I think it was Outer Limits, where the guy's in a glider and he disappears, and then it shows at the end he comes back years later. It lands and it's a skeleton.
Oh man!
Someone refresh my memory on that.
Doesn't he fly over dinosaurs at one point?
I forget. Yeah, that's super cool though. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I did that down there, and I saw dinosaurs.
Oh wow! Yeah.
No, it's pretty cool. It's like consistently you see dinosaurs. So it's definitely
now
it's well worth it.
Mo Mandel is not just the host of Small Town Throwdown, also a stand-up comedian, and obviously everybody in the world of stand-up is currently sort of sitting down, not doing much. But it'll get back up and running pretty soon, and I'm sure that you're looking forward to that. What have you been talking about? Or let me rephrase that. What have you been thinking about that you kind of wanted to talk about on stage that you can't because you can't get on stage? Anything? Do you sit around, for example, with a piece of paper and you think of stuff and write it down for later use?
Well, the lucky thing for me now in my life is the jokes just kind of write themselves since my fiance is a urologist. And so all day long now, I can hear her because she's working from home a lot. I hear her on the phone with other men talking about their junk in the other room. Like that's like the constant soundtrack of our apartment. It's ridiculous. She'll be like, "So, all right, tell me about your erection." And I'm like, just like one room away, like, what is going on?
What the hell?
Is she doing her job, or is she just like on like a Skype date? Like I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure on you too.
Oh, I mean, you think when you show your manhood to your fiance, it's the biggest one she's seen that day at least. But impossible. I mean, it's just impossible. I mean, I pull it out and she's like, better than my 3 o'clock. I can give you that.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks, Mo Mandel, the Discovery Channel, Small Town Throwdown. I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Yes.
And Mo is a very fine stand-up comedian. And when you get back out there, give us a call. We'll look forward to seeing you in person.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it for having me.
Thank you.
Bye, Mo.
Thank you.
Oh,
bye.
God,
Take care.
See you, man.
That was hilarious. Now, earlier in the show,
Yes, sir.
we were doing our banjo hunk.
Yes,
as
we
I
were.
recall. And we'll get some more of that on for you. But right now, I believe, are we returning to the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom?
You know I'm always here for you. Is that what you want to do?
Just for a second, yeah.
Okay. Bumpers aren't just for cars anymore. A Maryland restaurant has debuted special bumper tables
Have you seen these?
to ensure
Yes.
social distant dining.
They are fun. They're fun.
They are
look
fun. It
fun.
looks fun.
It looks ridiculous.
On Saturday,
It's like you're wearing a giant round raft.
Yes. Yeah.
On wheels.
How do you get in the car?
On Saturday, Fishtails in Ocean City rolled out about a dozen bumper tables, including circular tables surrounded by inflatable tubes mounted onto wheels to keep the patrons 6 feet apart.
I like it.
They're hilarious.
The tables have a hole in the center. They can accommodate around 4 to 6 people. I mean, people around 4 to 6 feet tall. So if you're over 6 feet, you can't do it.
They're like those things that babies get in and
Yeah.
Yes.
walk around.
A walker?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're under 4 feet, you don't come through the hole. I don't know how Christy you'd be on the cusp there. I think,
would.
wouldn't you?
Well, no, I'm
So
kind of right in the
obviously
middle.
They supply these for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
a great
They're
question.
going
They
to be
wanna-
packed.
No, you don't bring them in your car.
Because you couldn't get in the car. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, yeah.
The owner, Sean Harmon, intends to order at least 40 more tables from Revolution Event Design and Production.
Arnold,
customers
party of one, your bumper is ready.
our parking lot as
Hey, the
well.
bumper's ready. What
Party
about,
of one.
Well, if you
what
guys will
about
excuse
McGee?
me.
Is McGee in there anywhere? Anybody?
McGee.
Yeah.
Party of two.
Okay. No, I
Your
can't.
bumpers are ready.
Okay. It's exciting. We could.
Yeah.
We could. We could have dinner.
Cosby, party of 12.
Oh,
He's got
Cosby
quite a
was-
posse.
Was a big party.
Yeah.
12, huh?
Godwin, party of one.
I knew that was coming.
To the Bob and Tom Show. Thanks. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very happy face over there. We're going to hook up with comedian Dan Cummins momentarily. There's Chick, there's Josh, I'm Tom. That's Ace, our engineer. Christy Lee's behind the glass, socially separated, and around the corner is Pat Godwin. with a banjo and a guitar. And there he is. Comedian Dan Cummins has joined us. You look like you're about to get electrocuted. What kind of chair is that? It's about to hook you up there.
He's nice desk chair.
He's on the set of his podcast, The Time Suck. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All I could see was the UCK. Thank you for rotating the chair a little bit. There we go. That was very helpful. Dan Cummins is our guest, a very fine stand-up comedian. And his stand-up special is entitled Get Outta Here, Devil. Available on the Comedy Dynamics Network now via Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Comcast, and more. Dan, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I just things opened up here in Idaho a little bit. I was able to get to the barber yesterday and go to a restaurant. Things are looking up.
Yeah, I can tell. Christy said you were all hair, and then I look up at the screen, and you have clearly had it sort of shaved on the sides.
And your beard's been trimmed, too,
Yeah,
I
3
believe.
days ago,
Yeah.
you had a bigger beard than that.
Yeah.
I did much bigger beard.
And
Yeah.
happy belated birthday, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Had a good birthday. I finally caught some fish. I've been taking my son fishing for literally 8 years. We finally got some trout. So,
Now, you grew up, we were trying to remember, was it Riggins, Idaho?
yes, sir. Yep, Riggins, Idaho, a little 400-person town.
Wow. And where are you living now?
I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho now.
Okay. So there are people there.
It's a big city, yeah, 50,000 people, I think.
Yeah, it's significantly larger than Riggins.
Yes, there are people there. Yes.
Well, no, I mean, Riggins is a very small town. I'm sure it's lovely.
We got a movie theater. We got stoplights. We got a couple of people who aren't even white. It's crazy.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Urban living.
Talk about
Urban living.
cosmopolitan. I hope nobody has a petition going. Dan Cummins is once again our guest. We've known Dan for many, many years. So where do you fish?
You know, there's a lake. Lakes all around here. There's Lake Coeur d'Alene, but there's a little Lake Fernand that's just a 2-minute walk from my house. So it's pretty nice.
That's cool.
What did you catch?
Got some rainbow trout.
Nice.
I was very proud of myself. I was, and I convinced myself it was because of this new technique, and it was, really all the experience paying off. And then I looked on the website, and they had stocked the lake about 2 days earlier with about 10,000.
10,000 rainbow trout.
10,000 rainbow trout, so it would have been more difficult to not catch something.
I see.
Then,
Now, Pat Godwin, who you may or may not be able to see on your screen, Pat is quite the fisherman. And I literally 2 days ago ordered some fishing rods because my 7-year-old and 4-year-old have decided they want to learn how to fish.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
not with Uncle Pat, though, right?
No, that's not allowed.
No, as you know, there's
that's
there's
right.
an issue there.
Yes, that's
okay,
right.
we can't.
That's
really
not allowed around the children anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Pat's not allowed around anyone.
Who can blame him?
Not allowed in my house.
Play one game of leapfrog.
The lamp incident.
So Dan, the new stand-up special was recorded when?
That was recorded back in October, just outside of Detroit, a little place called the Crowfoot Ballroom, Pontiac, Michigan.
All right.
And it was a fun time. A really fun venue.
It's called Get Outta Here, Devil. Is there a reason for that?
It was that was just one of the jokes. I feel like I always name the albums after one of the jokes in there, and that one was just after a joke about how some people add unnecessary worry to their life, adding things that aren't necessarily real to be stressed out about. And I look into a lot of weird places online, and I was fascinated with this wormhole in the web of people who think Katy Perry is famous because she for sure sold her soul to the devil.
This is kind of what his podcast is about. He covers topics like this. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, they're not joking. They really think that happened. And I was just thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what? There's no way that you could sell your soul to the devil and just become automatically rich and famous, because if that were true, there would be a lot less homeless people.
Yeah, I think it's it goes without saying.
And then the rest of the joke is pretty not safe for
That's okay.
for FTP violations.
Yeah. That's true.
I always enjoy it when comedians have a T-shirt that's dedicated to one of their jokes. Mm-hmm. And I'm not picking on you, Josh.
Right.
But you do have a T-shirt. It's the half fat T-shirt.
That's
which
right,
is based on not really a joke, an observation about your own life.
Right.
And I'm not trying to do any body shaming here, but would you mind explaining the shirt?
Well, sure. Yeah, it's a drawing of a guy who is like me, half fat. I'm fat on my upper half, and then I've got very skinny legs. And yeah,
Very nice legs.
So and I bring this up for a reason because Dan, I think you might find this amusing. I was at a wonderful comedy club, And I was with a good friend of the show. I think it was whose name I'm forgetting right now.
Great friend.
No, who's the guy that looks 25? That's 60. What is it?
Oh, Dwight Slade.
Dwight Slade and I were there. That's right. And this guy was opening for Dwight. And this is a true story. So the middle act, this guy gets up there and he's really bombing. And it's pretty brutal. And then he finishes his set. And he walks to the back of the stage, and there's a duffel bag up there, which I had not noticed. He digs into the duffel bag, comes back to the microphone after receiving, one of those barely.
Yeah.
And he proceeds to take out three different shirts. And each one is based on one of the jokes that he did. He gets to the third shirt, which makes no sense, and he goes, "This is based on a joke I didn't do tonight."
I love that.
Which for me was the biggest laugh of the evening. So anyway, that explains why the album of Dan Cummins is called "Get Out of Here, Devil."
Sort of.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I relate to the half shape thing too, because my thing is I feel like I look like pretty decent from the front, but from the side, not so much.
Oh,
Turn sideways. We can see on the screen here.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a quarantine body right there. Darn right. Yeah.
That's a dad bod. That's a dad bod.
It's a dad bod. Absolutely.
I got a banjo. I heard.
Oh my God.
Oh.
right on.
Do you play?
I don't. I just got it as a kind of a weird gift recently.
Oh, well, you know who else has a banjo?
I know. I heard. I got
Josh has a banjo. Do you know how he got it?
Well,
Tell him, Josh. How'd you get your banjo?
I got my banjo from Josh's dad just before he died.
He had about 6 of them.
That's interesting.
Oh, you got the good one.
Yeah, that's right. You haven't actually seen the banjo that you,
Dan Cummins is our guest. Dan, you are also a podcaster. Tell me about your podcast.
Time Suck is the main one I do. That's just it's a deep dive on one subject a week. It can be true crime, conspiracy, cults, anything. This week was Alexander Solenik, this Russian assassin, and we kind of we'll explore more than the person's life. We just we'll explore the times they lived in. I like doing Russian topics because it just makes me feel good about my life, basically. Rough country to live in for many years. My God.
Yeah, I was just on YouTube watching that new Russian show, Bowling for Food.
Ooh.
That's something.
Can be real tough. Yeah, bleak is the word. I don't know how they were able to paint the whole bowling alley gray, but it was sad. So before we go, Dan, we got a little bit of time here. What else do you talk about on your comedy special, Get Out of Here, Devil, available on Comcast, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and more? What else do you talk about?
I talk about my family a little bit as well. Talk about Kyler, my son, and my daughter Monroe, and just kind of them growing up. My son's gotten to the age now where we're having different kinds of talks. He's going through puberty. So we've had some interesting talks. I have to clear things by him now to make sure they're okay to talk about. But he let me talk about more than I thought he would. We had a father-son boner talk a while back.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Just a talk, I hope.
Let me be clear about that.
Not a show and tell. Okay, he brought it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very important preface there. Makes it a lot weirder if I'm the one bringing it up, just barging in his room with the six-pack on. Let's talk about some boners.
Well, on that note, this is the perfect time to say goodbye. Dan Cummins, Get Out of Here, Devil. Comedy Dynamics Network, Comcast, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, etc. Thanks, Dan. Look forward to seeing you when this is all over. You going to play us out?
I wish I could.
Oh, you can't. I saw you grab the banjo.
It looks good. It looks real good.
Okay, we'll see you, Dan. And
Good to see you, Dan.
Okay, now it's my understanding, Pat, you have the banjo guitar out there now.
I do.
Look at that.
Okay, are you going to play something real quick, Pat?
Didn't Tim Wilson say you can't play Hendrix on a banjo?
Yes.
I love that line. But what if you did? It would sound like this. Here we go. Banjo. Every time you play one, you sound like a hick. Oh, banjo. Josh inherited one when his daddy got sick.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
Our professional comedian guest just turned off the TV.
Watch the entire show live or on demand with the Bob and Tom VIP All Access Pass. Listen live with the Bob and Tom app, and make sure to visit bobandtomstore.com. Tune in next time for more Bob and Tom Tonight.